This is Boxing Tickets NA. We're here at Declan's Place and delighted to be joined with the BA Celtic Super Bantamweight Champion Ruadhan Farrell. How are you, Rudy?
All good, how's things? How's it? All good in the hood?
All's good in the hood. It's a Friday afternoon, the sun's sort of a bit overcast today. You're obviously just finished the session there. I guess obviously the last time I spoke to you, you obviously won the BA Celtic title in March, back in the Ulster Hall. Time flies very quickly. Obviously here we are 3 months in the line and preparing obviously for your first defence. How's things been for you since? I guess you never forget your first title.
Yeah, you never forget it. I mean, I've always said it's a challenge when I called Murphy. I said one day I'll win this title, and then obviously I kept taking over training, and finally I got the chance in Ulster Hall. It was the best night of my boxing career so far. You never forget it.
It's obviously I would say it was one of them sort of fights, and I guess there was no sort of smack talk between you and Connor. Sort of it was just more on fighting, and it was one of them fights. Although I think obviously it was given as like a 78-74, it was probably a bit tighter sort of than it was. But obviously it was a really good fight, and I guess you probably learned some things in yourself during that fight. Like I can remember at stages obviously rocking your head back. You sort of had to get through good punches at times. Yeah,
it was we both had each other hurt a couple of times. I think I had him hurt in round 5, but I don't think it was close. I think I won the first 5 rounds easy. They were close. They could have been going anyway, but I believe when I watched the back on dazn, I won the first 5. He won the last 3. What makes it a fair fight. So I learned a lot from the fight. You know what I mean? He was a stronger fighter. He was a lot older, more experienced. So it was good to get the win over Conor Kerr and move on now the next one.
And obviously it seemed like, I guess obviously straight after that, obviously it looked like obviously you were going to be fighting in Scotland, and obviously the opponent there obviously pulled out, and it sort of just seemed to be like, I guess now you have a target in your back. Obviously you have a title. People obviously want to fight. Obviously, tell me how this rematch has come about with Gerard Hughes.
It was meant to happen. As soon as I was calling it from day one, you've seen it over social media. I was calling for a rematch. He wanted 1 fight or 2 fights in between with Pete. He had that 1 fight. Pete didn't show up. He's meant to be his coach. So I knew finally if that Scotland fight had been cancelled or anything was going wrong, it was Gerard. I wanted Gerard next after it. I was going to give him the opportunity to defend my title, but obviously I was signed in the fight for the WBC title. That fell through, so straight away with 24 hours that fight was made, and it was getting announced in a couple of days. So it's a fight everyone wants to see, and it's a fight he wants to put it right and I want to put it right, so let's have it.
I guess, than anything, obviously the fight on the night was obviously with you and Gerard, obviously on the McKenna card and the SSE. It was called as a draw, and obviously I've been forthright and obviously I've said that I believe you'd won the fight. For you, is the rematch in some ways obviously if they put demons behind you? Like obviously I know you have a defeat to obviously Colin Murphy, but for you obviously the pain they have to go through were obviously the biggest fight of your life at that stage, for it to be called a draw. Like, is this for you for redemption?
Just redemption, you know what I mean? I'm coming off a great win, which I believe again Conor Kerr would beat Gerard Hughes, stop Gerard Hughes, so now I've got that. So it's one of them things I just want to get to bed and move on. It's just causing a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I believe the whole boxing world knew I won that fight. No one thought it was a draw. Did you see anyone believe it was a draw?
No.
I seen Jamie Conlan on an interview. He had it weighing and a security guard had it a draw, but sometimes security guards only are to watch fights. They can't really score a fight. And I believe I was out working him, I was out boxing him, I fought him. I gave him 1 round, and the round was round 2, and the rest, round 3 could have been a draw. But I dominated the rest of the rounds. As you could tell by the face, the blood, the black eyes. I don't have a mark or scratch on me. It was his blood on me. So I know finally in this fight that I have no pressure on me. I just go out and perform like I've done in my last 2 fights, and I know I'll become a winner.
Obviously it seems to be, and I know obviously we want to obviously address, obviously you've done obviously an interview with Belfast Boxer, where obviously you were saying you were going to kill him. You obviously, I guess, when people say words like that, sometimes they're construed in different ways, and I know probably your normal feelings is you don't want to be like Deontay Wilder and say you want a body in your record.
No.
It's more just like a figure of speech.
Just like really, I didn't think before I speak, so it was like, oh, I want to kill him, but instead of rephrasing it, I said I want to punch him in the face. It's boxing. We're not here to go and tickle each other or do something silly. We're here, we could pay for punching each other in the face. So if anyone who thought it was offensive, I did not mean to say I want to kill Gerard Hughes. I want to punch him in the face and fight. I don't want to kill him. So I want both of us to leave the ring safe, go home to their families, him back to his family, my family. Both of us may stay safe. So I do not want to kill Gerard Hughes.
Yeah, it's good to obviously elaborate on that. I guess sometimes obviously parents and things like that obviously will say, would they get my hands on you, would they kill you? Because obviously it's more for the fact that they're not actually.
It's just the expression, do you know what I mean? And sometimes people don't think before beat, as I say. So I don't want to kill Gerard Hughes, and I'm sorry for anyone who may affect it in any way, but I just obviously want to punch him in the face and get this fight over and done with.
I think we're all guilty sometimes of obviously speaking before we think sometimes. What obviously, is there genuine hatred between you and Gerard? Like obviously Gerard's told me that obviously that whenever you'd done that clip and stuff like that, it was trying to build a fight, and obviously your male.
Well, he started all this. He was like, "Oh, don't worry, we were sitting one night before the fight was even announced. Oh yes, we'll do that, we'll do that." And he brought me down. I went down to Ballycastle with a great load of my fans, and he was like, "Oh, look, no nothing bad here, no thing, no nothing. There's a lot of kids there." And as soon as I stepped in the ring, he pushed me, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? You told me not to do anything, act out of order, and I stayed professional as I did, and then told everyone to stay calm. And he was getting on like an idiot. So one minute he's saying one thing, and then one minute he's saying something back. So I don't like him, and I don't mean I do like him. He has my respect. He hung in there in that last fight and took some baiting. So he has my respect inside the ring. But I've heard a few stories when he was in his old stable. He was trying to make an idiot out of me in the gym, saying slagging me about the electric meter, and he know fine really what that's about. So on August 3rd, I'll make him pay.
In some ways, obviously, Gerard, obviously, I know you've obviously seen the interview. Like, first of all, before obviously asking obviously some of the comments he made, what did you make of obviously the Anna Christian thing? Like, obviously people's mailed me and things since they were asking me was this planned, and
yeah.
I guess anybody who watches the interview right through, they can hear the singing coming from the background.
Yeah,
like,
she's just walking through Titanic. No, I mean, she's everywhere. One minute she's walking up a Shankill with the orange order. One minute she's in the town preaching God. So it's mad. It's funny. It's good to see that there's a positivity took away from that interview as well. So it's good crack. And hopefully, if he wants, he can get her to walk out with her. Out with him.
I guess in some ways, obviously, we weren't taking obviously the hand over in any way. She was sort of saying whoever believes and obviously God, and whoever repents their sins and things like that. So I guess in some ways,
that's her duty at the end of the day. She believes if you prays to good things, and I am a holy person. My granny was holy, my mummy was holy. Doesn't mean I go to church every day. When something goes wrong or I need help, I ask God and say Hail Mary in the full of grace. So I know I'm not saying fucking need prayers on my hand to win this fight. I know deep down I'm going to win this fight. So it's good to see Anna Christian too, part of the interview, part of Gerard Hughes' training camp.
And obviously you don't mind her obviously walking him out there, whether it's her, whether it's Conor.
I don't know, whoever it is, if it's Conor or Anna, you can bring both of them, so he'll need them, pick them up with his canvas.
I know that you'd said that obviously Anna was obviously his aunt, his Auntie Anna.
Auntie Anna, Uncle Conor.
Gerard obviously had said in the interview that obviously he's preparing for levels above you, I guess. In some ways, I'm not sure obviously what way you construe that, where he's saying do you think he's thinking past you? But
I need to say, what is levels above me? Do you know what I mean? He couldn't get past me on August 3rd. In the fight, he told me he done an interview, he was going to beat me on a weight point decision or late stoppage. He didn't faze me once. He didn't hurt me or didn't thing. If anything, it was walking on a silly shot, but I didn't feel any punch, any power. I had no cuts on myself, no blood, no damage. So if he's saying that in the first fight, you're not going to change. You're not going to change much different. So I mean, I give him the rest of the year, go train with Freddie Roach, and I believe that I'll win. If you lock us in that gym 7 days a week, I'll come out 7 days a week. So that's how I know I'm mentally stronger in this fight, and I know fine rightly that my hand will be raised.
When you go into this, obviously your mentality and in this rematch in 4 weeks' time, like, do you sort of maybe look at a anto cacace obviously scenario where obviously he knew going to Saudi Arabia that obviously he couldn't probably let it go to the judges' scorecard?
Yeah.
Like for you, in your mind, do you have to think I have to take it away from the judges where I maybe have to potentially stop him to be guaranteed to win?
Yeah, obviously I don't want it to go 8 rounds again, and I've known from it, I've done enough, and it goes to draw or it ends up going fuck, we'll give it to him, make him a champion, and then it looks like I've won the fight but he steals the title, you know what I mean? That would be absolutely destruction. So I know what I need to do. Don't want to tell too much about the game, but I'm just going to box ears up. And I know fine rightly that at the end of the day the stoppage will come.
SSE Arena again, obviously you have two obviously outings there previously, obviously Colin Murphy and obviously they really draw. Obviously getting a win obviously this time out, obviously third time lucky, third time's the charm sometimes. Like what a card.
What a card, it's so good, and especially Tyrone McKenna, the headline, that's always someone too I've always looked up to. He's like the same person me. We love a war. We're never in a boring fight. I don't think I've been in a boring domestic dust up. It's also my 4th domestic dust up inside 2 years as a pro, and a hat trick at the SSE Arena. So I just remember doing interviews years ago with yourself saying, fuck, one day this is going to be me, or fight cancellation. So now I'm 8 fights in, 3 times out in the Odyssey. Like, what else can you ask for? Like, you know what I mean? And I want to thank, when I'm sitting here now, I want to thank Jamie and Mick from Conlan Boxing for putting me on these shows and giving me these opportunities. So without them, I wouldn't be in the position I am today.
Do you have to pinch yourself sometimes, obviously, if these moments are coming? Like, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 times, you know, in the past where it was looking like debuts were going to happen and it didn't happen. Like, are you still having to pinch yourself at these moments are happening? Like, you sort of, and I obviously spoke to your manager, obviously Ian Grockner about this, and you know, you're everybody's sort of favourite sort of fighter coming through. Like, people didn't respect you at the start. The Colin Murphy fight, you were thinking you were going to get stopped. You've obviously came from sort of, not people didn't like you, but people disrespected you now, people want you to do well. Like, are you surprised in the turnaround?
I'm just glad they can say that it goes to show you, if you turn up to the gym, you work hard, and you listen, you do the right things, anything's achievable. You don't need talent, it's hard work that's got me here, and listen, the coaches have been here. So still have to pinch myself and believe that, like, looking at the rankings, and like 14 sometimes, and jumping up between top 10 and top 12 and 14 in Britain. I would say I'm ranked highly number 1 or number 2 in Ireland, because TJ Doherty is number 1, so he done fight in Ireland, so I class myself as number 1 super bantamweight champ in Ireland at the minute. It's right. So even to say that is absolutely crazy, because if you look back 3 years ago, I wasn't in this position. I was eager to fight and fight for free to get anything, but I'm just glad it's going now. 8 fights in and I'm not looking back.
Perseverance, obviously, and that's something I would say with Anto cacace as well.
Yeah, Anto.
Look at him for years, obviously, you know, 7 years, I think, in 7 years, I spoke to Anthony Crawley last week, 7 years, I think he got about 40 grand.
You know what I mean?
Obviously wasn't getting opportunities, fights falling through. Perseverance for you, obviously, you coming through, obviously, mental health issues and stuff you had in the past. Like, you know, it's a testament to the person that you are, that no matter how tough things got, you've obviously still
I've always, no matter what, you can't keep a good man down, as the saying is. So no matter what, only the time I'm having a bad day is if I'm not in the gym. If I'm in the gym, my mind and physically and mentally I'm a good person. And I want to say, the Anto cacace, like, he's a true inspiration to everyone around boxing at the minute. I'm coming in the gym and the fight getting cancelled the first time, coming in, training me, us being in the corner now, he's a part of the team. He's going to be on the part of the team on August 3rd as well, and he done it in March, and he's great experience. Like, he made everything in the change room just feel so real. Like, I already believed that I won that fight before I went in the ring, and I ended up just boxed out of my skin. So he's a legend, and he's done so much for me. People don't understand what he's done for me in boxing, so Anto's a good man.
Obviously, Terry and Barry, obviously part of the team as well. Like, obviously Barry's became an inspiration, sort of. The training done with Anto won the world title fight. Like, how's that bond been going? Because I guess whenever you went to Terry at the start, Terry sort of had no pro experience with fighters. Obviously, it was amateurs and doing cuts and everything else. Like, you've sort of brought the full team together along on the journey as well.
It was just, I linked up with Terry. I was still training me in, and I was doing one-to-ones because I wasn't getting no pads in Evolution at the time. So I had to come here. Terry was straighting up from Bangor at 5:30 in the morning, picked me up 3 days a week, starting off, really taking over with him. And then I just had a fall out me in, and next minute we were in the gym, and next minute I was in Holy Trinity, and Barry wanted to help, and then Mickey wanted to help, and it just all came so close. We got on so well. So things like that, I believe everything happens for a reason. And it was just meant to click. And Barry gets on so well with Tax. Barry comes up to the gym now and again, help us, nimmer in Holy Trinity. He bees her, helping us out, gives the game plan. He's a well-experienced, knowledgeable coach too, Barry. He's only coming back from an IBF. He warmed Anto up in the change room. While he warmed him up, he knocked Joe Cardino out with. So it's a man of many talents, and just obviously want to say a big shout out to Terry Smyth for everything he does for me.
It obviously seems to be a really good bond that's sort of building there. Where do you, not that you want to look too far past August 3rd, but is it the next gradual step then, obviously the Irish title? Is that potentially then a rematch with Conor Kerr for the Irish title? What would sort of come for you next after?
I believe once I beat Gerard, this is my Irish title eliminator, because obviously when I fought Conor Murphy, I was eligible straight away to fight for an Irish title. I've had 4 or 5 fights since then, and I've won the Cathal title. So once I beat Gerard Hughes on August 3rd, I want a rematch with, if Conor Kerr's up for it, but been granted by the board to go so. If there's talks about a headline on my own show, maybe, I don't know where and when, but the headline on my own show, maybe possibly Gerwood, 500 yards, where I've grew up the last 10 years, is crazy. You know what I mean? When we're saying no debuts, the co-main event, the Ulster Hall, the headline in Gerwood for an Irish title, and I believe I will win the Irish title this year because I've won the Celtic title. So Celtic, Irish, and then British, but we're not looking past August 3rd. Gerard's on.
It's weird sometimes you think of it when you're so close to the house, where you can nearly do like a Scott quick not that you want to, because obviously you get slated for it, but obviously
I'd be fucking banned from Facebook if I'd done something like that. Fuck's sake, sorry for my language, folks, but like we class just to walk from your house to your ring walk, but the way social media is nowadays, you get nelly in it, you get abused, you would have to delete it. So just stick to their own thing. Hopefully it goes ahead and they get the fight in Gerwood. It'll be epic. But even the headline, even better to have your own, everyone in the community are cheering you on, will be epic.
I guess the next goal now, obviously I know you're managed with Ian and obviously everything else, but is the next goal sort of where you look at where you've been in a matchroom show before, you're on a conlan show live in DAZN all around the world. Is the next stage now obviously getting a promotional deal somewhere?
Yeah, I would love a promotional deal. I'd put a bit of structure in my career where obviously I'm a ticket seller no matter what. I would do about 100 tickets, and obviously the fights go on, you build a bigger profile and get better and develop them, and they're good young super bantamweights. So I would love one day, maybe if it's anyone, I would stick loyal. If I got a couple of options, I would obviously go with Jamie and Michael because they've stuck by me from the Murphy fight. They've given me the Murphy fight, they give me the Gerard Hughes fight, they give me the Conor Kerr fight, they give me the Gerard Hughes fight. There's 4 fights back to back in the big shows, so why would you go looking elsewhere? It's about loyalty in boxing, you don't get much of it, you know what I mean? But if I got the opportunity, I would say McConlan boxing.
Definitely, obviously, and I know that obviously other ones have signed with Conlan boxing and stuff in the past, and like at the end of the day, supporting the local, they supported you, you support them. And
that's the way it works, you know what I mean? If you're in an area, you grow up, you always go local and spend in that local shop, do you know what I mean? It's about helping each other, so it's only fair if they give to me, I give back to Emmons.
And obviously, I'll do the same obviously done with obviously Gerard. If you have any obviously message, I know we're just 4 weeks and 1 day out, so 29 days, obviously we're not too far away from fight week. Is there any message you obviously want to give to Gerard in the build-up?
Just want to say, Gerard, wish you the best of luck, stay safe, be training, but remember, make weight, fat boy.
Well, listen, really, obviously, thanks very much for your time. We'll obviously look forward to August 3rd, obviously seeing the rematch for the BI Celtic Super Bantamweight title.
Thank you very much, Steve. See you fight week.
Cheers, really, thank you.